What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? How are you doing today, Elder Gibbs?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Elder Walker?
I'm doing pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Now, Elder Gibbs, you said that you were originally serving in Las Vegas, weren't you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my original call, and I started serving in the Nevada-Las Vegas mission.
Dude, that is so cool.
Elder Walker, you're from Las Vegas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
That's
I'm actually
crazy.
from Las Vegas. So I was born and raised there, lived there for 18 years of my life. So, yeah. Vegas is a wild place, though.
It's a crazy place.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, how long were you in Vegas for?
I was in Vegas for 2 transfers. And
Okay.
That's 2 transfers in Arizona.
That's awesome. That's sweet. So, about how long is that?
So a transfer is 6 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So that's 12 weeks, so 3 months.
Nice. That's sweet. Yeah. I lived there for 18 years,
So Elder Walker's definitely the expert.
yeah. Self-proclaimed, but yeah. Well, that's awesome. But yeah, like, for you at least proselyting, what is it like being a member in Sin City? Like, whew, one of the capitals of the world of sin.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that like?
definitely it's an interesting experience, like Sin City, and you're trying to teach people about Jesus.
Yeah, they seem like complete opposites.
Wow.
So like, how did you do it there?
Yeah, you have a lot of faith. You have to have a strong testimony for sure. You see a lot of wild things. You hear a lot of wild things.
Yeah.
But there are some great people in Vegas.
Yeah,
Like
that's
some
true.
people who are just waiting for the gospel.
Like me.
Yeah. Of all the places, you would never think Vegas would have like all these elect people who are
Yeah.
just ready for Jesus in their life.
No,
but there
for
are.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
you'll talk to people all over, and they just. And the thing is, people in Vegas are a lot nicer than you would think.
Yeah, no, they really are.
Like
They
you
really,
just
I mean,
start
like
talking-
the strip has some crazies.
For
not
sure.
gonna lie, the strip, because you get people from all over. But outside of that, I would say it's not pretty similar, but it's like on par with the kind of people that are in Utah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how Vegas is. Like the city itself is crazy,
Mhm.
but then outside of that, it's a normal place to live. Like it's just like anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, my first experience, like just going up and talking to people in Vegas, I was a little nervous, like, oh, how are these gonna go? But everybody is so nice.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, of course you have bad interactions, but for the most part, people were nice even if they weren't interested.
Yeah,
Like,
for
there's
sure.
a lot of great people in Vegas.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed growing up in Las Vegas, because you tell people you're from Vegas, and they're like, "Oh, what? Did you live in a casino? Like, what are you doing living in Vegas?" But no, yeah, growing up, it's really a good place to live. The people there are great, and although I was a member in Sin City, it wasn't that big of a deal, honestly. Like, I would say the member population down there it's probably about around 10 to 20%. So there are a fair amount of
Yeah.
actual members in Las Vegas, which is really cool.
Yeah, there's quite a few in Vegas, and as you move into Henderson, there's a lot in Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson's tons of members down
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I was over in the southwest part of Vegas, and that's where I lived and grew up. But where were you at in Vegas?
So I was on, let me think this, the northeastern side of Vegas, up by,
Okay.
I spent most of my time up by the temple.
Okay.
If you know where the
Yeah.
temple is up there.
Yeah, that side can get a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Especially if you're familiar with Vegas, the northeast side. You don't really want to be walking around at night.
No.
So how was that being a missionary there?
Yeah. It's interesting. I was talking with my companion about this the other day. Like, when you're a missionary, like, you're just protected. Like, you're just not afraid to, just go out and go
Yeah.
do stuff. But I
Yeah.
was just thinking, like, if I were to go back there by myself and, like, walk around the places we'd walk around on a daily basis, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, no.
I'd be like, woo.
Yeah.
Like, even just, like, a walking around our apartment complex that we lived in. It was kind of a sketchy apartment complex. And we never
Yeah.
even locked the door either, because I don't think we had a key. So we were like, well,
The Lord will protect
the
us, I
Lord's
guess.
got us. Yeah, we just had a little Jesus card in our window to, like, ward off
That's good.
anybody.
Yeah, that'll protect us for sure. You don't need no guard dog. You just got a
No.
picture of Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, we
yeah.
had the absolute worst apartment. I literally think it was the worst apartment in the mission.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. We lived on the middle. I think there were like 3 levels. We were in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Our downstairs neighbors and upstairs neighbors, all they do all day was just smoke weed. It's like, out of our vents, it would just smell like weed constantly.
That's such a Vegas thing too.
Oh my gosh, you just like live in a constant headache in your apartment. You're like, oh.
Get up there getting secondhand highs, missionaries.
Like, oh my gosh, our apartment, we just smelled like weed all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Vegas can be a crazy place because it's a lot different than Utah. A lot different.
It is a lot
Yeah.
different. Definitely a culture shock coming from here in Utah.
Yeah, how was that?
Suburbs that you
Because
just-
I went to Argentina originally, and
Yeah.
culture shock out there is crazy because it's a completely different place and completely different language. But how is the culture shock kind of going from Utah to Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's even though like it's pretty close, like it's
Yeah.
like a 6-hour drive from
Yeah.
Salt Lake.
Mm.
It's quite a different place.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just meet all types of different people and just
yeah.
like the whole like area I was in, there really aren't houses.
Oh,
It's just
kinda
it's
like
mostly just apartments,
Yeah.
tons of apartment complexes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like the classic Vegas apartment complexes. If any of you know what that means, like they're like outside, but not.
Yeah.
Like you just like walk around corridors that are like outside, and you're just
Yeah, it's kind of like a hotel if you've ever been to like a motel kind of,
like
where all the rooms are kind of outside and
yeah.
it's not really like normal apartment complexes. It's
No.
Vegas complexes are built different for
Yeah.
sure.
So just like walk around those apartment complexes, you're like, wow, this is where people live. Like okay,
Yeah, and this is where you're gonna teach the gospel for the
Where you
next
teach the
2
gospel,
years.
yeah.
Like
and
it's gotta be a little crazy
and the demographics of people are a lot different than Utah.
for sure.
Most of the people we ended up teaching were immigrants.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
a family who immigrated from the Congo. Ended up
cool.
being baptized,
Uh-huh.
but like most of the people we were teaching, we taught a lot of immigrants from Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot different. Utah's
Yeah.
a very heavily white area.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, and that's one of the things that I actually really like about Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Living-
so many types of people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Living in both Las Vegas and Utah, something I really appreciated was the diversity in Las Vegas for sure. Because here, just like you said, it's mostly white people. That's the main demographic here. But Las Vegas is a melting pot for everywhere. So
yeah,
it's a really cool place to live and grow up.
man, it is a
really
very
enjoyed
cool
it.
place.
Mhm.
You're the Walker, so I was only there for a couple of months, but you've been there for a long time. Like,
Yeah,
like what is it like being a member? What's it like, doing stuff with friends, going to school, all
yeah,
that in
yeah.
Vegas?
So I lived in Vegas for 18 years, but I actually moved up here to Utah my junior year of high school and did that.
Mhm.
So I've got both the Las Vegas and the Utah experience.
Nice.
And I honestly really like the Las Vegas experience better.
Yeah.
Growing up in Las Vegas, because at least as a member of the church, you're the minority there.
That's
so
true.
what you believe isn't the popular belief, and it was pretty cool growing up there because I would have my friends in school, that you're just everyday friends with, and then on Sunday we'd go to church, and it was almost just like two kind of different lives.
Mhm.
Like I'd have my normal everyday life and then church life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just how it is growing up as a member outside of Utah, I think, where it's not so mixed together.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the biggest thing I saw growing up and living in Las Vegas and being a member of the church is just you really had to choose what you believed in, really. You had to stay firm and as a member of the church and go about your everyday life, just living life.
Yeah.
Where Utah, it's kind of the opposite, where
Yeah, the majority are
Majority
members.
are
like, most of
members
your
and-
friends are members, so it's kind of
yeah, it's kind of like everyday life is mixed with the church life.
yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing I saw, at least growing up there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's interesting. Yeah, it's such a weird demographic in Utah for how many members there are.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
doing missionary work here is a little different.
Yeah,
Like if you just like start street contacting people, they're just all members.
Yeah.
You just start talking to
Yeah.
members all day.
that's pretty much how it is here in
Yeah.
Utah as a missionary.
Yeah, it's a lot different than Vegas. Like the chance of you just talking to a random person in Vegas and then become a member is just not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
no.
Especially in your areas, because here they like do stakes as areas, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
Vegas, we would have like 1 or 2 wards.
Oh,
And so basically,
yeah.
and especially if you've been there for transfer too, you get to know everybody in the ward.
Yeah.
So you know if anybody's a member.
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't realize that you guys only had 1 or 2 wards. That's crazy. It's a lot different than here in Utah for sure.
Yeah, my last year in Vegas, it was 1 ward and a branch.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we were over
That's
the
really
Tongan
cool.
branch.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, what was it kind of like getting to know the members down there? Because they're probably a bit different than the members here in Utah. So what was that kind of like?
The members there are so strong.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like definitely my areas like of course varies person to person.
Mhm.
We just had like some crazy just missionary minded, members.
Yeah, for sure.
Who were just like willing to go out with us and like most of the members lived in like the nicer part of our area.
Yeah.
Up by the
yeah.
temple where there's actually like houses and stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so and then we'd always just take them down to like the really sketchy apartments with us. Right? We're gonna knock a few
The members
doors
are like,
down.
I'm not gonna make it through this night. Oh no, what did I do?
Literally, it's so true because they live in the nice part up on the mountain.
Yeah.
That area up there.
Yeah.
And then so they'd go up from down there, and then we'd go like way down into our area, like right by the freeway, and it's just like you're like knocking the apartments out like under the freeway.
Yeah, that's up there by the temple. That's a sketchy area. You can't like going up there for at least from my house. It's a rougher area.
Yeah, so,
But that's really cool that the members were
yeah.
able to help you and like really were interested in it. That's
Mhm.
really cool.
You know the Bonanza? That's true.
Yeah.
So my area was between Bonanza and Stewart Avenue.
Oh, okay.
So just that from like the temple
Yeah.
all the way down to the freeway.
Yeah.
Like it's just like this. The word's so weird. It's just like this strip. It's called Stewart Place,
Mm-hmm.
and that was our area. And most of the time, so we lived kind of like actually we actually lived out of our zone technically.
Oh shoot.
So
Yeah.
that's fun. So we'd like bike into our zone and then bike into our area and then bike all the way down to the apartment complexes, and that's where we'd be all day.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, but just like you were saying, how the members are so strong down there.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I saw too, because like the members in Utah are great, but they don't really have to choose to be a member every day.
It's easy
Like,
to just follow the path.
Yeah. It's kind of just like everybody does it here. I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But in
for
Las
sure.
Vegas, the members really have to like choose. Like this is a church I want to go to, and this is what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
And I think that's what probably contributes to their just strong desire to help you guys out and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it was cool to be a part of too, because it's not something everybody is a part of down there.
Yeah.
And kind of, I don't know about sticking out or standing out and being kind of one of the only members, and at least my friend group was something that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's it like having a friend group who's not mostly members? Like my friend group are basically all members. Like basically all my friends are on missions right now.
Yeah. So growing up, the problem with living in Las Vegas and going to school is like, in my high school, there was probably 20. Well, no, there's more than that. There was probably like 85 members total that went to my high school. Of like a high
Nice.
school of like 4,000.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
So yeah, with those numbers in mind, it's kind of hard to have friends that are also members, because that's all you have there. And in my seminary class in high school, we probably had 20 kids at most. So that's how many kids are in my
crazy.
grade going to school with
That's
me.
crazy because the seminaries here, there's like 6 different teachers, like
Yeah.
all these different periods at
Yeah.
your seminary.
Yeah. So most of my friends were non-members. That's just how it is growing up in a place outside of Utah.
Yeah.
And we were still really good friends, and I'm still friends to them till this day. And it was honestly really cool growing up as one of the only kids that was a member of the church, because I kind of get to not be an example, but kind of show them what our church is about, and also just hang out with them and be their friends. So I had a pretty solid group of friends in high school, and we would hang out, do stuff just like you probably did, and it was just cool to kind of just be the one that was a member and just kind of be that example for them, while still just being normal, everyday, regular friends.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I saw it, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you were able to have non-member friends and just
Yeah.
still keep your values and.
Yeah. I mean, like growing up, they don't believe, so they do crazy things all the
Yeah,
time.
I'm
and
sure.
They do things that aren't necessarily aligned with our church, but for the most part, we were always doing things that were I don't want to say uplifting, but good. So yeah, it was really cool, and we'll probably be friends for the rest of my life, hopefully. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
For you though, like, how did you like separate that, like keeping your values and doing stuff that you wanted to do with your friends?
Yeah, I think just always remembering like who I am really helped, and like what I believe in. Because as a member, we're we're in the world, but we're told not to kind of be of the world. So that's kind of how I viewed my relationship and stuff. Is like, I'm still always gonna go to church. I'm gonna do my thing. But like, yeah, I'll hang out with you guys, of course. You're my friends. So that's kind of the mindset I had when I was growing up and hanging out with them. So yeah, I think it's a really good mindset to have.
Just in general.
Yeah, no matter if you're in Utah or growing up outside of Utah, just remembering that as a member of the church, we are in the world because that's where we all live, but trying not to be like of the world and partaking in those worldly things and remembering our ultimate purpose here.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
For you, what does like daily life look like as a member in Vegas?
Oh, as a member in Vegas, I mean, it's pretty normal, pretty typical, I would say. Just like anybody else. I would wake up, go to
down
school.
To the strip. Hop in a casino.
Yeah, no. Play a couple rounds of blackjack. No, yeah. Growing up in Vegas, I would say is actually pretty similar probably to growing up in Utah, just without all the members. Like honestly, that's kind of how I would look at it. Like just an average day of high school for me was waking up, going to school. I would do that, and then usually probably have sports after, so go to practice and then come home and spend some time with the family. That's pretty much how my days were spent. I mean, on Sundays, of course, we'd go to church, and occasionally I'd go to the temple, but other than that, I was just a normal person in Las Vegas who was also a member of the church.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daily life in Vegas looked a little different.
Yeah, I bet.
As the missionary schedule.
Yeah.
So of course, you get up at 6:30.
Yeah.
Get ready, do all that fun stuff, studies, and then we teach lessons stuff and go out and find.
Yeah.
So like, basically, being a missionary in Vegas same as being a missionary anywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's really
you kind of just stick to that missionary schedule and
Yep.
you go about doing the work in whatever area you're in.
Literally.
Because if you guys don't know, there's a generalized schedule for all proselyting missionaries that they pretty much have to stick to every day, if I'm not wrong. And it's just basically what work you're doing in whatever area you're in that changes. The schedule is pretty much the same, right?
The schedule's the same. Yep. You gotta go to bed by 10:30, up at 6:30.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. You get, an hour for lunch, an hour for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you have lessons, teach lessons, then you kind of fill all your available time with finding time to try to find those who are willing to receive the gospel.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you were a missionary in Vegas, I mean, you probably do. Did you ever have any like crazy experiences with like people or members or any like negative experiences maybe?
Yeah, I have so many crazy Vegas stories. Just even from the start.
Yeah.
So after I got done with the MTC, and the MTC is just the Missionary Training Center down in
yeah.
Provo, and that's where I was there for 3 weeks, and it's where they kind of like teach you like how to
be a missionary.
How to be a missionary.
Yeah, but you're not gonna learn that in 3 weeks, like no.
No, you don't learn until you actually get out there.
Yeah,
but they did all that, and then we had to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning and get on the train to go to the airport. And then we fly out, and pretty short flight from Salt Lake to Vegas. It ain't bad.
I've done it a couple times. It's like an hour.
It's literally like an hour flight. I swear, like the whole boarding and getting off takes longer than the actual flight.
Yeah, that's how it be. That's how it be for sure.
And so flew to Vegas, and the first thing when you get off the plane, new missionary ready to go, and it is just like a casino. You get in there, lights going crazy,
Vegas airport,
slot machines everywhere, people gambling. Like, what the heck is
what
going
am I
on? doing? It's a weird experience.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Like you come from the MTC for me was like such a spiritual experience. Like you spend all day around missionaries. That's the only people you see are missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is talk about Christ. Like you're just like in this little bubble from the world, right? There's you don't have access to anything. You're just all you do is talk about Jesus and the gospel.
And then you're thrown into
then you walk
literal Sin City, just casinos everywhere. Like
casinos
what is this?
Everywhere, and all types of stuff. They have the airport. They have TVs of all types. Like what is happening?
Yeah, the Strip's definitely an interesting place.
Yeah. So you get to the airport,
and you guys actually weren't allowed to go to the Strip, were you?
No, the Strip is a big no-no. So if you look on Area Book, right, it's PMG app now.
Yeah, yeah.
Still getting used to that one.
Yeah.
But like it'd be just like this giant red area.
Oh,
where it's like,
shoot.
do not go on the strip.
If you go there, you're going home.
Well,
is that how you got here?
I mean, no, I accidentally went down the strip once. Okay.
Shoot.
That's actually
shoot.
true. That's another crazy story. But yeah, so at the airport it's like crazy, and then we meet with our mission president, and so President and Sister Rodarte picked us up with
Nice.
the APs.
Nice. I have heard of them because I was a service missionary there for 6 months.
Oh, you know the Rodartes?
I don't know them, but I know of them because
They're
one of the
awesome.
plans for me was actually to kind of do some teaching over there and then do service, but logistically it just didn't work out. So, but
The
yeah, I have
Rodartes
heard that
are
they're really good
awesome.
people.
They were just the best.
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome.
done now, so it's like crazy. I don't
Yeah.
even know who the new mission president is
Yeah.
in Vegas now, but yeah, I love the Rodartes, and then Elder Bird, Elder Warren, the APs were there,
Nice.
picked us up, and then
Nice.
like the very first things we had to take like an elevator,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like first of all, our president's like, okay, everyone keep your eyes down, because there's just like so much everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, we got some nice tile here, keep your eyes on
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of how Las Vegas is, especially down by
it.
the
Yeah,
strip.
you're just gonna be like,
You just kind of keep your head down and try to not look at anything too crazy.
yeah, and then we go over and we had to like take the elevator, and the first thing you see in the elevator are just little stickers of OnlyFans QR codes, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Not the only pin QR code.
Oh my gosh, they're so bad because they're like they have a little profile picture and the QR
Oh,
code, and
no.
they're like plastered.
Oh,
Oh my gosh! If you haven't seen them, you haven't been to Vegas because I saw them everywhere. People just plaster those things everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Like on
awful.
bus stops, they're just.
Oh no!
But you hop in the elevator, and they're like plastered all over the elevator. You're like,
What am I doing? Yeah.
like it's such a
Yeah.
shock. You're just like had like one of the most spiritual times of my life. And I'm like, oh my gosh!
Now you're getting blended by
Satan's just
OnlyFans
absolutely
stickers.
coming for me.
Oh,
Literally,
yeah.
I've never seen any OnlyFans stickers ever in Utah, and then like my time in Vegas, I have seen countless stickers.
0 to 100 real quick.
Real
quick.
fast.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, growing up in Vegas, it's different. It's different than Utah for sure.
Yeah, you gotta be strong.
Yeah.
Not given to temption because it's.
It's
It's all around
everywhere
you.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
How did you do that? How were you able to live in like all of these with all these temptations
Yeah.
around you?
Well, I don't know. I think one thing is we didn't really go to the strip a whole lot. Like we would go to the strip when we had family in town, and, like show them around a little bit, like the Bellagio. You didn't ever get to go to the strip, but there's a couple things down there that actually are good. They have the botanical garden down there in one of the
that's
hotels,
cool.
so big flower array, and then the fountains, of course. So we wouldn't really ever go to the strip, so that was one big way that we were just able to avoid it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
pretty,
much just
that's
crazy
how
stuff
you
going on.
avoid that. Basically, is just you don't go there really a whole lot because as somebody who lives there, it's just like there's no point. Like
Yeah.
it's mainly for tourists. So
it really is.
we wouldn't go to the whole strip a whole lot. And I think just another thing is just remembering who I was. Again, going back to that point, and just living my everyday life as a member in Las Vegas. Just it became normal. Like it wasn't something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Vegas is definitely crazier than Utah because
Yes.
got some crazy stories from there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story.
Well, okay. So I went to Desert Oasis High School. And if you're familiar with Vegas at all, Desert Oasis has become a little bit, I don't want to say ghetto, but a little ghetto. It's gotten really overcrowded. So it's one of the newer schools in Las Vegas. It was built back in like 2009. So it's a really nice school, like the school itself. But over the years, it's gotten so overcrowded. So there's almost 4,000 kids that go there now. And I think it was made for like 2,700.
Dang.
So you can imagine that. It's a little crazy. But my senior year was kind of an epic year for Desert Oasis. They were in the news probably like 40 times, probably. So it was definitely a crazy year. Luckily, I was only there half time because as a senior, I just only had like 4 classes or something.
Yeah.
But I remember there was one week that they at Desert Oasis, they had, I'm pretty sure, 3 hard lockdowns in 1 week. And if you know what a hard lockdown is, that means like something's going on in the school.
That's crazy.
So luckily I wasn't there for any of them,
Ooh.
but I had a brother there that was, and he was like, it was awful.
Dang.
But yeah, so I think what started all at the beginning of the week is, I'm pretty sure somebody either brought a gun or brought like ammo of a gun to school, and that set it into a hard lockdown. Like things were going crazy. Everybody was like the school shut down because they had to find whatever weapon or whatever was there. So that happened, and then the second or third day in the week, there was a parent or something that had come into the school and was like coming to complain about something, and then a huge fight started happening with the parents and the kids of the high school. So there's just like this giant brawl in the middle of the high school. Midday, you know, because they're just trying to learn, and here's a whole brawl going on. I have the video somewhere I can show you, but it was freaking crazy. So this whole brawl is going on. So they had to do another hard lockdown to try to get things settled out. So that happened. And I don't remember what happened for the third time, but yeah, just living in Las Vegas, crazy things happen like that would never happen in Utah. So I mean, it was good to grow up in because I'm pretty like tough-skinned, hard-skinned now. Like not much phases me growing up in Las Vegas.
For sure.
But still, like, it's kind of a wild place to grow up. Coming and being in Utah for a year for sure.
That's crazy. The funny thing, I've actually heard of your high school. I've heard some
No
stories.
way. No way. Shoot. Yeah. It was a good high school. And I enjoyed going there, but my senior year, man, it got a little rough. After COVID and we were all back in school, I don't know what happened to those kids, but
just went nuts.
It went crazy. Yeah, it was good, and I enjoyed it. So
no, that's fun. Yeah. Another crazy story. Like I said, we accidentally went down the strip. And accidentally left the mission.
Yeah.
In the same day.
Mission President, you sorry?
It was not our fault, I promise. We tried to do good stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But basically, so we were up for, so it's doing our normal zone conference. So at the time I was serving in Arizona. And
so Arizona was a part of the mission too then?
Yeah.
Nice.
Arizona and California.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
And so I was serving down in Arizona at the time, and it was Christmas. So it's doing our normal zone conference. They did a special like Christmas zone conference.
Oh, cool.
Up in Vegas at like this old, it was like the first chapel in Vegas. I don't know if you've been there, but now it's like a family history center.
Yeah, I have been there actually.
You have?
Family History Center in Las Vegas?
Yeah, but it's like a church building.
Oh, okay.
But it's like an old church building.
Is it in the Strip?
It's not in the Strip.
Oh, okay. Then it's not the one I'm thinking of.
No,
there's a Family History Center.
It's really close to the Needle, the Space Needle there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like
because there's a Family History Center like in the Strip. Yeah,
we did not go to that one.
Yeah.
We went to this one. It was like one of the first chapels ever built,
Mm-hmm.
but it's no longer a dedicated chapel because they have turned into a family
Cool.
history center.
Nice.
And so that's where we did like a special like Christmas conference and talk about Christmas stuff and sang some songs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, like you do a zone conference. Yeah.
Yes, you do a zone conference. It was good. It was a short zone conference just for Christmas one, and then each zone got to spend most of the day doing service at these different places. And so we were at, I think it's called the Shady Oak. Up in North Vegas. And so our whole zone and yes, I think our zone and the Lake Havasu zone. So we were the Kingman zone and the Lake Havasu zone. We were both there, and so we drove up there to North Vegas, and North Vegas is kind of a sketchy place.
This is North Vegas.
North Vegas.
Yeah.
And we get there. So basically, it's like a homeless shelter for like women and their children.
Okay, cool.
Is what it is for. And around that area, I've never seen so many homeless people in my life that were up there, like just completely lined all the streets.
Yeah, no, the homeless population is crazy in Las Vegas because it's such a big city, and those homeless shelters. Winters. Yeah, those homeless shelters do so much good work. It's crazy.
So we pull up and it's like all gated, and like we had to get like a security guard to get us in, and so we get in and stuff, and then we did service. It was good. We just ended up with like folded clothes and hung up clothes, and we like wrap presents for
Mm-hmm.
these women's children, and
Cool.
so
That's
a lot,
really
a
cool.
lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of good that day.
Yeah, that's
And
what
you
I'm
end up
saying.
on the strip.
That's hey, we do a lot of good. And then after came the problems.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, this is what happens. Okay. So at the time, I was zone monkey.
Okay.
You know what that means?
No idea.
Okay. So that means I was being trained. So both of my companions were zone leaders.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
just a little zone monkey.
Nice.
So I just gotta
Nice.
pretend I had some power,
Yeah.
just follow the zone leaders around all day.
Yeah.
But basically, so they're kind of in charge of like getting stuff, like arranging rides and making
Yeah.
sure everybody can get back. That's
Yeah.
their responsibility as
Mhm.
zone leaders. And so, basically, we had 2 elders, and they're down in Dolan Springs, so down
Uh-huh.
in Arizona,
Yeah.
and they're Tacoma. They'd driven up, and it was in a shop in Paradise.
Oh.
And
Uh-huh.
they had gotten a ride with somebody from like the mission office from there.
Oh. Uh-huh.
But that person couldn't give them a ride back because they were going to go straight home.
Mm-hmm.
And we had driven up 2 other elders with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a Tacoma, and so that's completely packed.
Yeah.
Right? 5 people.
Yeah.
We can't fit 2 more.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
Mhm.
And so basically we're like, uh-oh. And so we're like, okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 elders that were with us, we're going to drop them off, and then we're going to, at the car place, and they're going to wait for us, and then we're going to grab the other ones and then
Oh, nice.
drop them
Uh-huh.
off, and they pick the car, and they'll drop them off, take it there.
Yeah.
We start
yeah.
going, and then they're, like, your parents like, actually, we're just going to take them first. And so basically we were like 5 minutes out, and we had to turn around 5 minutes, whatever. We dropped
Yeah.
them off. Those poor elders, they ended up having to wait at, like, the homeless shelter for like an hour and a half.
Oh no.
Just sitting in like the little waiting room in like
No.
this gated area with like the security guard.
Oh. It's okay. It's okay. They're doing great.
They're killing it right now. But so we get these other elders, and we drive all the way to Paradise, and it took like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We finally get there, and we drop them off so they can go get their car
Mm-hmm.
because it was done with the shop. We're like, okay, now we gotta drive back, and we're like, okay, Amber, remember how to get there. We're like, no. And this one, because I started in Arizona, so I don't know Vegas at this point. I'm like, I have no clue where we're at. You elders have served here. They're like, no, we've been basically in the mission. It's called In Valley or Out of Valley,
Uh-huh.
and so because Out of Valley is all the Arizona and California areas,
Uh-huh. Nice.
because you're out of the Vegas Valley.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've been out of Valley too long. We got no clue where we're at. So I'm like, okay, I got this. I'll just pull up the Google Maps. Worst mistake ever, because it takes you on the most direct route.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like, take this one. And next thing you know, we're on I-15. I'm like, wait a minute.
Is I-15 out of your mission?
Well, I-15 is the border of our mission.
Yeah, because I know it splits the missions,
But
but
it
was
splits the mission.
it technically still in your mission?
Technically, at this point, we're in the mission.
Okay,
I-15 goes right down the strip.
Yeah, yep.
And so we're going, and I'm like, wait a minute, elders. I think we're going down the strip. And they're like, uh-oh. And at this point, like, we can't really get off. And it's
Yeah.
like and it was like, I don't know, like 7 o'clock, so the traffic was just awful.
Yeah.
So we're in like stop and go traffic on the strip. I'm like, oh, we are so screwed. I'm like, I am so sorry, elders. I had no clue. I just put it in Google Maps.
Yeah.
It said this was the fastest way to get there.
Because the 15 takes you right by
Right
the
there.
strip.
Yeah, it literally right through.
Oh.
That it's like, oh. So we're like trying to keep our eyes out, like, don't look at anything. So we literally are just, it took us forever to get down there too. So we're just like on the strip for like 30 minutes. We're like, oh my gosh, we're about to get called for president. He's gonna look at our little TV and be like, what are they doing?
Oh.
So we're going down there,
Yeah.
and it took forever. Then we finally get off on our exit, and then the exit goes like this. I-15's like this, and there's no way to stay on this side of I-15. The
Yeah.
road goes like this. And next thing you know, like, we got it. We just took the exit. There's literally no way to turn or do anything. Next thing you know, we gotta go under it. And then we're just out of the mission. Now in the Vegas West mission. I'm like, oh my gosh, we are so screwed. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
So we're literally just driving in the West mission. Wow, okay, this is
it for me.
this is it. We're about to get destroyed. And then eventually the road comes back through.
Yeah.
We get back in the mission, and
Yeah.
we pick those elders up. And then we had to drive like 3 hours back to Arizona.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, because going out of the mission's a big deal.
yeah.
If
Oh
you
my
do that,
gosh.
it's like
we are so
you're about to get sent home or something. That's
literally.
that's funny though. Yeah,
We didn't
'cause
even get a call about it or anything.
that's good. That's good. You know,
No,
you were doing good work, and you know
I
you
guess
just
so.
had to do it. It's,
Man,
it's
we have
fine.
to.
It's fine.
but like, yeah, I thought we were gonna get just destroyed. I was
Yeah.
just waiting for the call from President. I was
Oh.
on Sim. I was like, oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Just looking at our little car, just oh, and they're gone.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, did you at least enjoy your time being down there in Vegas?
I did.
That's
I really
good.
enjoyed my time.
That's good.
Mostly just for the people.
Uh-huh.
Like the city.
It's the city.
It's
Yeah.
the city, but the
Mhm.
people there are awesome.
That's awesome.
Like definitely we'll be going back after the mission.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah. I'll have to
visit
give you
people.
an actual tour of the place. Cause you got the mission tour. I'll give you an actual tour.
Yeah, I'll give you the tour of all the sketchy apartments. I'll be like, I got this door.
I live
this
there.
door.
I live
Yeah,
there.
I live there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I live
I can
there.
give you the
Batman
proper
for
tour of
dogs.
what tourists actually do when they're there, not just as a missionary. But yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. And yeah, growing up and living there, I loved it. I loved growing up there, and I love my friends that I have there, and it's really an awesome place. But it can be hard at times just being a member of the church in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but overall, I really enjoyed growing up there and living there, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's
I
awesome.
lived in Utah for a year, and I went back to Vegas after, and
Yeah.
so it's really cool. It's a really good place. Yeah. Did you have any final thoughts about your time and being in Las Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas. There's more to Vegas than meets the eye. Vegas is
For
so
sure.
much more than the Strip. The Strip is just like this, the smallest part of Vegas.
Yeah.
And the Vegas Valley is so big, expands so much. Like there's, like you don't even know when you hit Henderson no more. It's just you're in Henderson.
Yeah.
You haven't left the valley. The valley is basically just like
It's
Yeah.
normal life.
it's just normal. Like
Yeah.
Henderson, especially. I never had to serve in Henderson, but our mission office was down near Henderson, so we have driven
Mhm.
through Henderson a lot.
Yeah. Henderson's a
Super
good
nice
area.
area.
Mhm.
Like it
Yeah.
kind of feels a lot like St. George.
Mhm. Yeah,
St.
for sure.
George area. But even like just in apartment complexes and stuff, kind of the sketchier areas, there's just great people in Vegas.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
be
And
honest.
that's pretty much how I see it too. Like the city itself, like Sin City and whatever it gets its name from. That part it can be a little hairy because
Yeah.
you just have so many tourists and whatnot going on there. But outside of that, the city it's awesome. It's a really good place to live. Like I enjoyed it, and there's some really good areas in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
So
there are.
I think it's a great place to grow up and raise a family, and I did it. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's really cool. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all I had on Las Vegas. What about you? Is that?
Yeah, no, that's basically it. But I'll have lifetimes of crazy Vegas stories.
Yeah. Me as
it's a
well.
great place.
Me as well. Yeah. It's a great place to live, and it was a great place to grow up, and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment down below any questions you had about being a member in Las Vegas, because it can be a little crazy at times for sure.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, drop a sub.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Sweet.
Goes over not recording. Yes, we did.
Oh, good.